Welcome back to Skytech-Lens. On October 29, 2025, Kuala Lumpur's tropical air buzzed with anticipation. The city, alive with vibrant colors and the hum of excitement, was preparing for a momentous occasion. Streets were lined with Malaysian flags, and crowds gathered early, eager to witness history in the making. The atmosphere was electric, as if the entire city was holding its breath for what was to come. Canadian Prime Minister Carney and his wife touched down to a state-level welcome greeted by dignitaries and a dazzling display of national pride. The arrival was more than a formality. It was a celebration of friendship and a signal of deepening ties between Canada and Malaysia. As Carney stepped onto the red carpet, he was met by a meticulously arranged military honor guard. Malaysian officials stood tall, their smiles reflecting genuine warmth and respect. The military parade, with both Canadian and Malaysian flags waving side by side, underscored the significance of this visit. It was a powerful statement, one that went beyond diplomatic protocol to highlight a partnership built on mutual respect and shared aspirations. This level of pageantry, typically reserved for the world's most influential leaders, marked a turning point. Canada was being recognized not as a junior partner, but as a key player on the global stage. The ceremony was a testament to the growing importance of Canada's role in the Asia-Pacific region, and to Malaysia's willingness to embrace new alliances. The warm reception extended by Southeast Asian leaders reflected a broader eagerness to engage with a G7 nation known for its stability and reliability. For many, Canada represented a trusted partner in an era of shifting alliances and global uncertainty. The handshakes and smiles exchanged that day were more than gestures. They were the foundation of future cooperation. As the formalities concluded, the symbolism of the day lingered in the air. Canada's strategic pivot to Asia was not just being noticed, it was being warmly embraced. The visit signaled the beginning of a new chapter in global diplomacy, one where Canada's voice would carry greater weight in shaping the region's future. Prime Minister Carney's visit had only just begun, but the message was unmistakable. Canada's influence and leadership on the world stage were on the rise, and the world was watching with keen interest. The grand welcome for Prime Minister Carney was a striking departure from the norm for Canadian leaders, who are rarely met with such ceremony abroad. Malaysia's deliberate display was a signal to the world. Canada, under Carney, is now seen as a significant economic and diplomatic partner, not just an appendage to the US. This recognition rewards Canada's steadfast commitment to a rules-based order and signals Asia's desire for reliable partners amid global uncertainty. The red carpet was more than tradition. It was an invitation for Canada to step up as a major player in a changing world. Notably absent from the ASEAN summit was a bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Carney and US President Trump, a break from decades of tradition. Ottawa confirmed this was intentional, signaling Canada's willingness to chart its own course amid escalating trade tensions and unpredictable US policies. Instead, Carney's schedule was filled with productive talks across Asia, reinforcing Canada's pivot away from dependence on its southern neighbor. The optics were unmistakable. While the US dealt with domestic turmoil, Canada was welcomed as a reliable partner by Asia's dynamic economies. The empty handshake spoke volumes. Canada was defining its foreign policy on its own terms. Skipping a meeting with President Trump was just the most visible sign of a deeper shift, one that's been quietly building for years. Canada's foreign policy is undergoing a transformation, moving away from automatic alignment with its powerful southern neighbor. This moment marked a turning point, signaling to the world that Canada is ready to chart its own course, even if it means standing apart from Washington on key issues. Canada is forging an independent foreign policy, one that reflects its unique values, priorities, and global vision. This new approach is about more than just distancing itself from the United States. It's about defining what it means to be Canadian on the world stage. No longer content to be defined by its relationship with Washington, Canada is seeking to build a reputation as a principled, proactive, and reliable partner in global affairs. The days of simply following the US lead are fading. Canada is asserting itself as a sovereign middle power with its own interests, ambitions, and responsibilities. This means taking bold stances on climate change, human rights, and peacekeeping, even when those positions differ from its closest allies. Prime Minister Carney's message is clear: we are not the United States. Under his leadership, Canada is determined to make decisions that serve its people first, while still maintaining strong ties with its neighbors. This isn't anti-American, but pro-Canadian. The goal is to strengthen Canada's voice and influence, not to undermine its historic friendship with the US. The new approach means building diverse alliances worldwide, reaching out to emerging economies and traditional partners alike. Canada is investing in relationships that reflect the realities of a changing world. From Asia to Europe and beyond, Canada is expanding its diplomatic, economic and cultural connections, ensuring it has a seat at every important table. The aim is to reduce vulnerability to any single partner, making Canada's economy and security more resilient in an unpredictable world. It's a long-term project to rebrand Canada as a truly global nation, one that is open, innovative, and ready to lead on the world stage. The vision is for Canada to be resilient and influential in a multipolar world, able to adapt and thrive, no matter how global dynamics shift. Challenges remain. Deep US-Canada ties can't be undone overnight, and there will be moments of tension and compromise. But the Carney government is betting that agility and reliability will pay off. By asserting independence now, Canada is preparing itself for a future where flexibility and strong principles are essential. Canada aims to shape its own destiny in the 21st century, standing tall as a nation that leads with integrity, vision, and a commitment to the global good. At the heart of Canada's new foreign policy is a bold economic goal: double exports to non-US markets within a decade. With 3/4 of exports traditionally going to the US, recent trade tensions have exposed the risks of over-reliance. The strategy is to diversify, finalizing free trade deals, especially with Asia, and supporting Canadian businesses abroad. This isn't just about selling more, it's about transforming Canada into a globally integrated economy, resilient to shocks from any one partner. The government's whole-of-nation push aims to make Canada more innovative, competitive, and prosperous. The Asia mission is the first major step on this ambitious path. ASEAN, a bloc of 10 Southeast Asian nations, is central to Canada's diversification strategy. With over 650 million people and a $3 trillion GDP, ASEAN offers immense opportunity for Canadian exports and investment. Canada's goal: finalize a free trade agreement with ASEAN by the end of 2025, opening doors for everything from agriculture to tech. But the partnership goes deeper, encompassing security, science, and cultural exchange for a truly multifaceted relationship. ASEAN nations, seeking alternatives to US-China rivalry, see Canada as a stable, reliable partner. The enthusiastic welcome in Kuala Lumpur shows both sides are ready to bet on this new relationship. The Canada-ASEAN connection is now a cornerstone of Canada's global ambitions. Prime Minister Carney's Asia tour extends beyond ASEAN, targeting key powerhouses like Singapore and South Korea. In Singapore, talks focus on finance, tech, and investment, giving Canadian businesses a gateway to Southeast Asia. South Korea, a G20 leader in industry and innovation, offers opportunities for trade, R&D, and even defense collaboration. A visit to the Hanwha shipyard highlights Canada's interest in advanced manufacturing and security ties. The tour culminates with a planned meeting with China's President Xi at APEC, aiming to thaw a 7-year diplomatic freeze. This multi-country approach shows Canada's strategy is sophisticated and tailored, building a diverse portfolio of partnerships. It's a clear signal Canada is serious about becoming a permanent player in the Asia-Pacific. Canada's assertive moves in Asia have caught the world's attention, with international media praising its independent, reliable approach. In Asia, Carney's grand welcome and the US snub are seen as proof that Canada is charting its own course, one that resonates with nations seeking stable partners. European commentators view Canada's pivot as part of a broader trend of middle powers stepping up to defend the rules-based order. Canada is now seen as a model middle power, influential, economically significant, and free from superpower baggage. This positive perception builds momentum, making other countries more eager to engage with Canada. The world is starting to see Canada not as America's quiet neighbor, but as a confident, strategic nation in its own right. Carney's Asia tour and the government's bold new foreign policy raise a vital question. What does this mean for everyday Canadians? As Canada looks eastward, forging new alliances and opening doors to rapidly growing Asian economies, the implications could be profound. This isn't just about high-level diplomacy, it's about reshaping the very foundation of Canada's economic future and the opportunities available to its people. If this ambitious pivot succeeds, it could mean more secure jobs for Canadian workers, higher wages across industries, and a more resilient economy, one less vulnerable to the unpredictable swings of US politics. Imagine a Canada where prosperity is driven by a diverse set of global partners, and where economic shocks south of the border no longer dictate our fortunes. Doubling exports to new markets could benefit everyone, From prairie farmers shipping wheat to Asia, to tech innovators launching startups with global reach. Small businesses, large corporations, and entire communities could see new opportunities, making Canada more dynamic, competitive, and future-ready. But the path ahead is anything but easy. Decoupling from the US, our largest trading partner, is a monumental task. Global competition is fierce, and new markets come with their own risks and uncertainties. Canadian businesses will need to adapt quickly to new rules, cultures, and expectations. Success will demand sustained effort and collaboration between government and business leaders. It will require investment in skills, innovation, and building relationships in unfamiliar markets. Canadians will need to embrace new ways of thinking and working, and be open to learning from global partners. This strategy is a calculated gamble, one that weighs the promise of long-term economic independence against the short-term risks of transition. The stakes are high, but so are the potential rewards. A stronger, more self-reliant Canada, able to chart its own course in a rapidly changing world. For Canadians, this moment represents a true turning point. A choice between the comfort of the familiar and the excitement of a bold, globally integrated future. It's a chance to redefine what it means to be Canadian in the 21st century. The world is watching, ready to welcome a new Canada onto the global stage. Now, it's up to Canadians to decide whether to seize this unprecedented opportunity and shape their own economic destiny. Thanks for watching. Subscribe the channel for more updates.